In a preseason game in 2018, Mahomes showered Nagy with praise, saying he, quote, will help you really understand the offense. Greg Jennings, will Patrick Mahomes have a monster 2022 season?
I don't know if he'll have a monster 2022 season, but I think he's going to have a successful season, regardless of who's coming in. And when you think about cooks, like, you can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. But in this case, they've all kind of worked together before. They've been able to navigate the kitchen of Patrick Mahomes and all the ingredients that they have with Tyreek Hill and Kelsey before. So I don't mind this situation as if it was something else. If it were another situation, another team trying to do this, I would say I would pause on it a bit. But Matt Nagy understands what Patrick Mahomes can do. He understands the philosophy of Andy Reid. Andy Reid respects the heck out of Matt Nagy, and I think he will allow him to be more creative. The league is starting to catch up. They have caught up, not starting. They have caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs in what they do best. So I think it's great that they're trying to be ahead of the game and get ahead of the curve and bringing back in someone who can allow them to build their rapport with one another once again and kind of change up what they look like offensively, if that is even possible. But I think it's a good sign for Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if he can top any of the seasons that we've seen him have up until this point, but he can definitely improve in areas, and I think Matt Nagy can help that situation.
Yeah, Greg, I love the question. I want to get it correct. A monster 2022 season. Yeah. All Patrick Mahomes does is have monster seasons. I mean, does a bear poop in the woods? Come on. Mahomes is unbelievable. Four seasons as a starter, right? He goes to the conference championship game every single season. He's been an MVP finalist twice. They're bringing back Andy Reid, Bieniemy at OC. I haven't seen anything to suggest Tyreek Hill's not back. Kelsey, yeah, they're going to be great. I mean, Mahomes is unbelievable. And people are texting me right now. I can see my phone lighting up. Is it Nagy or Nagy? Like, it doesn't really matter. The guy's going to be irrelevant. I don't see how he's a factor here. Yes, maybe Reid wants to help his guy out the way Nick Saban helps out every coach in the league, right? Nick Saban says, come on down to Bama. Come on. I'll make you a quality control coach. Then you'll be quarterbacks, then OC, then you'll be an NFL head coach. Like, maybe Reid is helping out his guy, but he's going to need a little more help after how badly it went in Chicago for Nagy. It was just train wreck after train wreck. But if you're working with Patrick Mahomes, you should be able to use that as a springboard to a job. But Rick, I'll tee you up, like, well, how does Bieniemy not have a job anywhere yet? I don't understand what Nagy is really going to do to help this offense.
Yeah. Now, do I have to call him Nagy just so we have the full spectrum?
Yes, good call.
But I'll go Nagy. This is what I don't understand is why all the focus on Patrick Mahomes? To your point, J-Mac, is he set up to have another monster year? He has monster years every year. He had a monster year last year. Did he start off slowly? Were there some issues? Yes, but we're talking about where the Chiefs are going to go and what Nagy could possibly add. If he's playing defensive line, now I think that Nagy could be a difference maker because for me, that's the side of the ball that they need to fix. They were 27th in yards allowed. They were 31st in yards per carry by opponents. I mean, the problem is that Patrick Mahomes feels the need to play hero ball, to stretch out plays, to make dynamic plays all the time, because the defense against the better teams in the league, as we saw in the postseason, is constantly giving up way too many points. That's the side of it that has to be fixed. So bringing in Nagy is not going to be a problem, but I also don't see it as the solution. Yeah, he's played quarterback. Yeah, he can work with Mahomes when it comes to the decision-making. But if you really want to fix Mahomes' decision-making, build this team and work on that defense so that he doesn't have to have a monster year in order for you to be playing for a Super Bowl. And then you're going to see the best out of Patrick Mahomes because he's not going to feel like he has to do it every single time he touches the ball.
Yeah, Greg, I wonder, we did see Mahomes in the second half against the Bengals in the conference championship game really struggle. And at times, Greg, last season, when teams dropped into that, hey, we're just not going to give up the big play, too high safety, heavy zone. Mahomes, I don't want to say he looked rattled, but he looked uncertain because he does like to go YOLO, and I want to make a cool sidearm pass, and I want to go bomb. And I don't want to say he regressed because he did still have a monster season, but something happened to Mahomes last year where he stopped giving what the defense was giving him. He stopped, taking what the defense is giving him. And Greg, I don't know if a quarterback coach is going to fix that. In your experiences in the locker room, maybe a quarterback coach is instrumental, but for me, Mahomes just has to kind of settle down and just be like, cool, I'll do the checkdowns. I don't mind Kelsey here. I don't mind the underneath stuff. And it seemed like at times he just got, unhappy with having to take that and still wanted to go heavy.
Well, the beat on guys who have great arm talent is one of, they're going to want to take that shot. And in order to beat those types of guys like Josh Allen's, the Patrick Mahomes, the big arm guys, you force them to methodically move down the field. Well, if we remember, like when Patrick Mahomes first took over, it was down the field. It was anything was wide open. You had players running wide open. I don't know in his first 2 years, specifically that first year, if I had seen more receivers running wide open and blown coverages from defenses. And a part of that reason was because of formation variation and just that type of creativity offensively. Maybe that is what Andy Reid is trying to get back. Yes, he's one of the most innovative guys as far as putting guys in position to be successful. But sometimes you get lulled to sleep because of the talent at your quarterback position, and you start to just solely rely on that versus the schematic approach in making sure that you're still giving and providing your best schemes to get guys open, to make it even more simplistic for your quarterback. And that's what I think the reasoning behind bringing in Matt Nagy is, to have a fresh set of eyes come back in and assess what we're doing offensively. Yes, defensively, Rick, they need to improve there, but it's not about improving the defense right now for them, because if their offense is clicking, it's just flat out hard to stop this team.
No mercy. Despite having a 21-point lead in the second half, the Warriors lost to the Mavs as Dallas went on a 26-3 run to complete one of the craziest comebacks we've seen in a long time. Luka Doncic led all scorers with 34 points. Golden State has lost 5 of its last 7. So our question here is, do you have any cause for concern for Steph and the Warriors? I got to say, Rick Bucher, no cause for concern. Klay did not play last night. And this is a Golden State team that's still missing Draymond Green. James Wiseman's getting work back. I think, Rick, you would agree that Golden State has exceeded all expectations to this point in the season. They've played above the rim throughout the season. And I think that they will settle a little bit, probably go through some struggles in the second half. But it's all about the postseason and getting the entire roster ready. Like Andrew Wiggins probably will not continue to play at the level he's had in the first season or the first half of the season. And I just look at this Warriors team as super deadly in the playoffs. Again, with the qualifier, if everyone is healthy. But injuries have been a story throughout the league, right? Chris Paul with the Suns,
sure.
Draymond with Golden State, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving's situation, Kevin Durant's injured. Like, injuries are a part of this. So I'm not really concerned for the Warriors. You guys know I'm in the tank for Curry, obviously, greatest shooter in the league, second best point guard in the history of the NBA. They will be okay. I thought last night's crumbling was a major surprise. But ultimately, it is a great Golden State team. I think they can get out of the West.
Yes, they have injuries, and yes, there are a lot of teams have injuries. But is there reason for concern? Absolutely, there's reason for concern because of the construction of the Warriors and because of what they've gone through the last few years, or actually their history over the last 6-7 years, which is that they are relying on a number of guys, Steph Curry being one, Klay Thompson being another, Andre Iguodala, Draymond Green. That is the nucleus. That is the championship nucleus that they are relying on if they are indeed going to go back and compete for another title. And all of those guys have thinning tread on their tires. That's just the reality of it. So while everybody is injured, there's reason that these guys might be compromised at this point. The other side of it is that as much as everybody's excited about Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins. Fact of the matter is, none of them are championship-tested players, and that's why you see results as you saw last night, because you didn't have Clay, and you didn't have Dre, and you didn't have Andre, and now it's a matter of Steph trying to lead a team of unproven, talented but unproven players. We saw a lot of that last year, and what did it result in? Resulted in the Warriors not even making playoffs. So there is legitimate reason for concern because of Andre Iguodala, his age, the knee issue that he's dealing with. There's no guarantee he's going to be ready at the end of the year. Draymond Green is dealing with a back issue. We all know how tricky those can be. Klay Thompson is coming back from 2 catastrophic injuries. We've never seen a player try to play, much less win a championship after 2 injuries of that sort. So they've got 3 guys that are indispensable to them winning a championship. And it's a very real possibility that not all of the 3 of them will be 100%. And if they're not, then that leaves the door wide open for the Warriors falling short of what everybody is hoping to see, I believe, which is Steph Curry once more playing for an NBA championship.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rick. There is cause for concern when you look at the Warriors, because anytime you have to talk about a team and use the word, and I've been at fault for this, if these guys are on the court, or if they're healthy, then that means you have concern too. So, J-Mac, you have concern too, because if was a part of your conversation and your take. And when you think about what makes this Warrior team so special, it is truly Draymond Green. Like, I understand the importance of all of them,